Okay, so this is the second video for the hyperbolas, and so I just want to review a couple things here. Again, this is from the notes from the previous day, or if you're watching them together. These are, if you're watching one video after the other, I mean, this is the one continuation from what we just started. So I just want to go through this again. This right here, this would be the transverse axis. This is where the focus and the vertex are located. And really the values I want to talk about here is from the center to where the hyperbola starts. That's called the vertex, and we call that A. This box that we see in the middle, this has to deal with the minor axis, and from the center to this co-vertex over here is B, and the value from the center to the focus is what we call C. Excuse me. So we're going to continue to use this information here so that we can work through a couple problems. So I'm going to go ahead and come to the notes. Okay, I want to determine the equation for the hyperbola, and again, guys, I think graphing it is probably the easiest way to go about this thing. So I think I'm going to run out of space here, so I'm going to count each one of these little blocks as 2. So if the center here they told me is at -2, +10, then I'm going to go 1, 2, so each box is 2, like I said, and then so 2, 4, 6, excuse me, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Oh, sorry, +10 should be going up. 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. This should be the center. Okay. Now, they told me that one of my vertices is at -2, +22. So -2 and, well, +22 is going to be somewhere way up here. So now it's not really getting to be to scale, but that's okay. And my focus is -2, -8. That looks like an 8 to me. I'm sorry. -3. I'm sorry. So -2, -3. So it's going to be down here. So, as I start to build this equation, guys, it's going to be x minus h squared, y minus k squared, and it equals 1. Now, what I don't know is right now is which one's the major, which one's the minor. So, remember, guys, they did give me a focus here. They did give me a center. They gave me a vertex. So, it's like this. Now, what I should remember is that the hyperbola is going to touch the vertex, so it's going to look something like that, which means it's moving in the y direction. So the A goes under here, and this one's the positive term, and this one is the negative one. Okay, and so I'll tell you how to deal with that right now. So remember, from the center to the vertex is my A value. So from here to there, I see that I have 12 units, right? Because the center's here at -2, 10. So from 10 to 22 is 12 units. Okay. From the center to the focus, it doesn't matter that it's not in the same direction, because remember, the distance from the center to the focus is 13 units. So 10 to -3 is 13 units. So my C value is 13. I can find this B value. Okay, so I'm going to use that relationship here. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. So, oops, should have written. So 12 squared plus B squared is equal to 13 squared. So 144 plus B squared is equal to 169. And I will find that B squared is equal to 25, which means my B is equal to 5. Okay, so because I'm not asking to draw it, I mean, this information is not so important. However, I think it's easier to visualize when it's like this. So, to go back here, now I have all my information. So x plus 2 squared over 25, again this is negative, plus y minus 10 squared over 144 equals 1, which I can write either like this, or I can also say, I usually don't write the negative in front This is where they would, in your answer choices, if this was multiple choice, they would write it like this, with the minus as the second term. So I'll say this one's the correct answer just because the format they're going to want you to put it in. Okay, so I'm going to go through the second one real quick. Again, I already did it. This is my answer right here. And I want you to see I drew it. Again, I put that every one of these little boxes was 2. So my center's at positive 9, negative 8, so it's right here. Again, I went 2, 4, 6, 8, and halfway's 9. So the distance, and they gave me a vertice and they gave me a focus. So my vertice was here at 4, negative 8, and my vertice was my focus was here at 22, negative 8. So remember, guys, if I already know one of the vertices, 4, negative 8, and I know the distance here is, again, each one of these is 2, so 2, 4, 5, my A value is 5. Okay, and if I already know this right here to the center to there, remember, it has to be the same on the other side. So even though they didn't give me this information, I can see that it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units away. Okay. And my focus, my distance from the center to the focus ended up being 13 also. Okay. So as I go through this, guys, again, I'm just going to show it here. This is the answer you should have gotten. And what I want you to notice, even though the major axis, because this is the positive, is smaller, it's a 25, just notice that the bigger number doesn't necessarily have to be the major axis. Okay, so I'm going to move forward. Okay, so the information I get here is a little bit different. Again, I still need these values, the center, the A, the B, the C, and again, the C I only need if I am given that information, okay, or if I'm looking for something else. So, what I want you to see here is, first, let's start to make the equation. What I don't know is which one's the negative, or which one's the A and the B. Okay, so which one's the major and the minor. So here they told me my vertices at 4, negative 1, one of them at least. So this is my center. So 1, 2, 3, 4, negative 1. That's one vertice. And 8, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, I'm sorry. These are negative 4s. So should be a little bit lower. 8, negative 4. So it's right here. Okay. So this is a vertex and this is a vertex. So I know the center has to be directly in between. So this is at 6, negative 4. That's my center. And I can also see, guys, since this is the vertex, this is the direction of the hyperbola. So it's moving like this, which means that the X is the A value, the major direction, and the Y is the minor, so the negative goes here with the Y. Okay, so to move forward, I know that from the center to the vertex is A, so here I have 1, 2, so my A value is 2. Okay, now this is what I'm going to do here. They didn't tell me anything about the focus length. They didn't tell me about the minor axis. What they told me was the asymptote slopes, plus or minus 2. So, guys, remember, slope is just rise over run. So if it equals 2, remember, we'll put in a fraction, 2 up, 1 to the side. So, if this is the vertex, guys, remember, this is where my box would be. The slope has to go through the center. So from here I want to go 1, 2 up and 1 to the side until I hit this line here. 1, 2 up and 1 to the side. So I already hit it. So, and then here I go 1, 2 down and this way. So the line just continues through here. And from here, 1, 2 up and 1 to the side. 1, 2 up and one to the side, so right here. So this is my asymptote, so really this should look more like this. It's a little bit wider. Okay, so now I've made my box, and this makes it easier. Now I can just see how many up did I go. I went 1, 2, 3, 4 up. So my minor axis is b is equal to 4. Okay, so I can make my equation now. X minus 6 squared minus y plus 4 squared, where my a value is 4 and my b value is 4 squared, which is 16. So that's my equation. Okay, so I went ahead and worked through the other problem as well. This is what your graph should look like. And so go through this, guys. I went ahead and put all the work here so that you can see it. You all should have this, and if you have questions, ask me.